All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is November 8th, 2023. It is market close. We're going to do the BYOB Market Wrap Up. My name is John Kerrigan. I moderate the BYOB Trading Room. All right, so let's take a look at what's going on. And I'm hitting that and it's not working. So let's see. Having a little bit of technical difficulties, but I'm all right. All right, so let's take a look at the markets. So here's SPY. We're going to look at the daily chart. All right, look at that daily candle. What do we got? 1, 2. Let's count them. All right, because this is not normal. All right, it's not normal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gap 4, gap 5, 6, 7, 8 candles in a row. Green, all green. Incredible. And negative divergence on the BOP. But 8 green candles. See that blue line? Still no higher high or higher low. So guess what? We're still in a downtrend. Isn't that crazy? We're still in a downtrend. 8 green candles in a row. This is crazy. Okay, so we have an hourly uptrend. Higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. All right? So we have an hourly uptrend. But on the daily, you know, you got this big tail candle right here. First we had the gravestone doji. Now we've got a big tail candle up here. Could be another gravestone doji. We'll see what it looks like. That looks like more like a tail candle than a gravestone doji. Anyways, 8 candles green up on the daily, but still in a daily downtrend because no higher highs, no higher lows. We are well up over the trend indicator, okay? We are overcooked, overbaked. It's time for either consolidate or a pullback. It's time. Don't know if we're going to get it. They could keep going. We'll see what they want to do. All right, so there's SPY. QQQ. All right, so here's QQQ. There's the highs. Guess what? Still in a downtrend. No higher low, no higher high. Today's candle. It's actually the same candle as the SPY, but it's red. Did the same price action, made a higher low and squeaky higher high, but it's red. That's the only difference, is the color. It did the same thing as the SPY. How many candles up? Well, this one's red, but it went up because it made a higher low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 candles up on QQQ. Wow. Incredible. Each one with higher lows. See that? Every single one got a higher low. Most of them got higher highs. I think they all got higher highs, except for this one right here. Couldn't make the higher high there. But the following 8 got higher highs and higher lows. So there's QQQ. Let's take a look at FNGU. All right, so here's FNGU. Guess what? Still in a downtrend. Hasn't made a higher low or a higher high. It has on the hourly, but not on the daily. So you can see it's smack running into this diagonal resistance right here. We'll see what it wants to do. This is looks like another gravestone doji. I don't know what. Something perked up there at the very last second. But anyways, here we are. Tail candle with a higher low and a higher high. Again, straight up. All the way up. All right? Remember, when they go straight up without resting, that's not good because they can fall all the way back down. So be careful with your longs and be careful with your shorts because the bulls are in control. There's no question about it right now. So be very cautious in this market. All right, so here is the Qs. We'll put this up here. And you can see we are spiked the anchored VWAP from the high. Yeah, that's the high. That's the July high. And we have one candle up. So that rubber band effect could sling it back down here to the T line. So we'll see what happens. That's FNGU. Now let's take a look at IWM. All right, here's IWM still in a downtrend, even though trend indicator's green and price action is up above. Lower highs, lower lows. Lower highs, lower highs and lower lows. Still hasn't made a higher low or a higher high. So guess what? Even though it's up over trend indicator, it's still in a downtrend on the daily chart. Now, on the hourly chart, it's a different story, okay? Because you got higher low and a higher high. All right, so hourly's in an uptrend. Well, I have to check that out again. Here's the pullback right there. So could be like a nice hourly uptrend, just making a higher low. We'll see what it wants to do. So there's IWM on the hourly, but on the daily, still in a downtrend, making that pullback right now. We'll see how far it's going to pull back. If it's going to come back to the midpoint, which is a typical target. Okay, you can see it already passed through the upper third. It could not hold the upper third. I see when a stock does a move and it can't hold the upper third, it loses a point in my book. I like it to hold the upper third, but if it comes down and hits the midpoint and jumps back into the upper third, then it regains that point that it lost. Okay, so there's IWM right there in the midst of a pullback. So let's go look at Diamond Dow. So here's Diamond Dow putting in a higher high, no higher low yet on the daily. So Diamond Dow, not a really convincing higher high, but you know, it was up there and then it lost it. And then you can see it was up there yesterday and then it lost it. So not a real convincing higher high. So not a very convincing uptrend, but it is an uptrend because it made the higher high. But it also has a lower low. So not a very convincing daily uptrend. But if we put some trend lines in here, let's see where we fan out. You can see we're still, I'm just touching the tops of those candles. You can see we're still under that downtrend with a connection right here and right here. Okay, we're still in a downtrend underneath that downtrend line. Even though we're up over this peak here, we're still not up over this peak either. So we'll see what it wants to do. But you can see here's the big candle at the end of the move. Kind of signals a little bit of exhaustion there. So there's Diamond Dow. Daily uptrend, but not a very convincing daily uptrend. Hasn't made that higher low. I'm sure it can make that higher low. I'm sure it will do it soon. We'll see what happens. But nice move on Diamond Dow, breaking out to new highs, but not able to hold it. See that red candle? Not able to hold it. So for price action for today, we had a higher high and a lower low. So this was what we call an outside day. All right, it's increasing volatility with a lower low and a higher high. Let's take a look at IYT and see what the transports did. Transports, guess what? Still in a downtrend. All right, so trend indicator's green, but still hasn't made higher low or a higher high on an IYT. So definitely an hourly uptrend, but today's candle, not a bad candle really. Just a topping tail candle, making a higher low and a higher high. Can't really complain about that. As long as it continues to do candles like that, they might look ugly, but making higher lows and higher highs get this thing back going in the right direction. So there's IYT, still in a daily downtrend, but making nice candles, making a headway here. Let's take a look at XLF. So here's the financials, unable to make the higher high, as you can see. So it's still in a daily downtrend. See the big candle at the end here? It kind of signals a little bit of exhaustion. And of course, where do you get a rip back to the other side? Today's candle, equal high, lower low. So we're getting that pullback right now. Probably going to create that higher low pretty soon on XLF. So there's XLF. Still in a daily downtrend, but doesn't look like it's going to be much longer. It's going to produce that higher low, and then we need it to recover 50% of that and start attacking the previous high so it can get back into an uptrend. So if it does create that higher low, what we'll have is kind of a inverse head and shoulders, okay? So let's say we pull back to like a location right here, all right? And then we'll have left shoulder, a right shoulder, and if it can make it back to those highs and breach this neckline right there, we will have that head and shoulders pattern back to the upside. So we'll see what happens there with XLF. Still in a daily downtrend. All right, let's take a look at SMH, semiconductors. Guess what? Still in a daily downtrend. Trend indicator's green, but still in a daily downtrend on the daily chart. All right? Because we got lower highs and lower lows. Till we stop doing that and make higher lows and higher highs, we're going to be in a daily downtrend. In reality, I think this is a nice bull flag if we section this off with the quad lines. And let me just drag this out so you can see. You can see we're up over the midpoint right there. So good job on SMH holding the midpoint back into the upper third. But still, we're going to need to see higher lows and higher highs. So still in a daily downtrend at this time, but consolidating over the midpoint. Let's take a look at SLV. So here's silver. Silver still consolidating over 2050. Still in the channel here, okay? Still in a downtrend. Still in the channel. Lower lows and lower highs. Lower highs and lower lows. So we got still, yet again, another lower high right there. Silver. Gold. Gold gave us a pullback. Picked up a few shares of gold today. All right, on this pullback. Because it's dropping into my buy box here. So here's my buy box right through here. Okay, it's my buy box. It's where I want to buy. I don't like to chase. If they want to drop into the buy box, I'll pick them up. But I'm not going to chase them up here in the nosebleed section of the stadium. I'll let them pull back. Maybe even attack this downtrend line. Maybe even get back to the midpoint. As they keep coming back, I'll purchase more and more shares. But let them come into the box, and then we'll see how they react once they get to the midpoint or to some sort of support here. You can see they're right on minor support. See these tails, these candles at the top of this hill or the top of these peaks? That's minor support. So here's the wedge consolidation that gold was in. We broke out, came back in, re-entered the wedge, actually blasted right through it after a pit stop for a couple days and then took off. So here's the pullback, making the higher low. Good job on GLD. If it could just hold the higher low and get back and attack those higher highs. So there's GLD. USO. USO's in a downtrend. All right, we were consolidating over 74. Now we've got a lower high, and guess what? Now we got a lower low. Right now we are attacking. Guess what? See the consolidation here? This is the major support. Attacking the major support. This is not good. We start busting through this major support area, and now we're headed back down to this consolidation at 65. Okay, so not good if we break through this consolidation right here. And we'll be heading back to 65. UNG. UNG doing kind of the same thing. Was in an uptrend, then it made lower high. Guess what? Now it's making lower lows. So UNG is in a daily downtrend on the daily chart with lower highs and lower lows. Be nice to see this recover that, but it is what it is. I thought for sure winter's coming. We would see a spike in UNG. Guess not. So we'll see what happens here. So UNG also in a downtrend. USO also in a downtrend. So let's go take a look at, you know what? Let's look at the dollar. We need to see the dollar because we haven't seen that. All right, so here's the dollar. So the dollar was consolidating over 105.50, and it's still in the same spot. It fell out for a day or two, and then recovered back into the consolidating over the 105.50. Not very bullish. You can see this was the last bearish candle. It's a big bearish candle. But notice this Marubozu candle had no follow through. So guess what? When they don't get follow through like that, guess what? These highs are in jeopardy of being attacked in the near future when you don't get the follow through on these candles like that. So there's the US dollar index bouncing off of, guess what? Right here, minor support right there. You can see the crosshairs. You can see the dotted line up right here. And it lines up over here. So bouncing off of minor support back into the consolidation triangle or flag up here. So it's in a big bull flag at this time. All right, economic calendar. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Jerome Powell speaking today, 9:15. Did not see that one coming. They snuck him in there. Don't know how they did it, but they did it. So Jerome spoke at 9:15. I don't think he really affected the markets that much. I mean, markets tried to make a new high, but they were up in the sellers area anyway. So I don't think he hurt or helped the markets at all. So there's Jerome. He spoke today. And guess what? He speaks again tomorrow at 2 p.m. So something to keep an eye on is that 2 o'clock hour. For market volatility going into that 2 o'clock hour. Tomorrow morning, jobless claims at 8:30. Earnings calendar. What do we got for earnings? For today, we got Disney is going to report this evening $153 billion. And then Honda Motor, don't know when. That's it for the big ones, the notables. No, I don't want to do the survey. All right, so Sony Group, $110 billion. There's a notable. That's coming tomorrow morning before market open. And after the market close, we got Petro Brazil. There's $100 billion right there. AstraZeneca before the market opens, about $100 billion. And more Petro Brazil after the market closes. And Becton Dickinson, about $75 billion. All right, and they're going to report in the morning. Brookfield in the morning. Transdime, $50 billion in the morning. Other than that, there's about the only notables. Johnson Controls, they don't know when they're going to report. Usually they're kind of important. And the trade desk is going to report after the close, $38 billion. All right, so that's it. Tomorrow I have open house. All right, so everybody out there in Rumble and YouTube land. You're all invited. All you got to do is register in the link below in the description. Just register. You can get in the room. I'll be in the room at 8 o'clock. I want to wish everybody a wonderful evening. I want to thank everybody in the BYOB Trading Room. I hope you have a wonderful evening. I heard some of you made some good money today. That's awesome. I can't wait to see you all tomorrow. We have an open house. All right. Everybody have a wonderful evening, and thank you for being here.